Welcome to another episode. And today I'm reporting from the beautiful Mediterranean, and it's a little bit of a gloomy day. So I was like, okay, instead of going exploring ashore, why don't I stay on board and answer some of the most asked questions ever? What is my favorite travel destination? And this question is a little bit difficult to answer because it's hard to narrow down just to a single port, to a single location. But I can tell you in brief, the answer is the Mediterranean. We're gonna cover all the magnificent ports of the Mediterranean today, and these places are absolutely the best out of the best, I can tell you, after 10 years of travel. The starting point of my dream vacation, my dream cruise, will be Monte Carlo. And I've done several episodes on Monte Carlo, so feel free to watch them and see what is there to do. Arriving in Monte Carlo and sailing away from Monte Carlo, there's nothing like it. The views of the French Riviera, I'll definitely recommend taking a short helicopter ride over the French Riviera, over Monaco, and really enjoying the views from three countries, Monaco, France, and Italy. From there, it's very close that you can go to numerous other destinations from there, explore really that area. It's Nice, it's Cannes, and the number two of my favorite locations, in no particular order, is Saint-Tropez. A small little town that was once just a small little fishing village, but once the movie, the one that features Brigitte Bardot, became such a worldwide sensation, the culture of that small little village was forever changed, and now it's a glamorous tourist destination. And by the way, I just found out that actually Brigitte Bardot, till today, she lives on that island and know some people that actually know exactly where she lives, and they live not too far from her. And she's very low-key life. She's heavily dedicated to saving animal lives and fighting for the animals' rights. I love her even more for that. From that, going back to our dream cruise, our dream vacation, Mediterranean vacation, from there, I would sail, if I have my way, to Calvi, Corsica. Corsica is a spectacular place, of course. As you know, it's the birthplace of Napoleon Bonaparte, but also has beautiful beaches there. And one of my favorite Corsican port is Calvi. It's very small, quaint, medieval city that has an amazing water to swim in. So I'll definitely put that on my list. Number 4, I'll sail to Portofino. There's nothing more romantic and glamorous. Small little port on the Mediterranean in the summer vacation, and the season there is long. You can be there in May, even in April, and you can go as late as November, and I guarantee you'll have a fabulous time. The very next Mediterranean location that I would love for everybody to visit, and that is the Amalfi. But not Amalfi per se, but the area. Capri, Positano, and Ravello. Those are all excellent destinations. My dream cruise will include an overnight in Amalfi, where you just get to stay there for a day and then explore all of these areas, because all of them are spectacular. So perhaps this area is even better to explore from shore. You can make Positano your base, and from there you can take a ferry for a day trip to Capri, which is a must-see. Then you can take a day trip to Ravello. I think Ravello is just a special place, probably one of my all-time favorite. So definitely put it on your list to visit Ravello. But from the Amalfi area, if you keep going and keep dreaming, and if you have your way, definitely put Taormina, Sicily on your list to visit on the Mediterranean. Taormina is something that I discovered recently, and I fell in love with this hill town, and I just recently did a video. Make sure to watch it if you're interested. This is where the White Lotus season 2 was recorded, and it's just the most picturesque little hill town ever, that you can be going from the hillside to the beach fairly quickly on an Uber, and you get to explore all of it. But this is the birthplace of Dolce & Gabbana, and you're looking for a place just to look and feel feminine. You definitely can dress up whatever you want. Put your heels, put your hats, put your sunglasses, fancy purses, women these days, we don't get to feel enough feminine, but this is a place where you can dip into your feminine energy. So definitely it's a must visit on the Mediterranean. And then number 7, Malta Gozo. If you continue cruising, if you continue sailing, or you can fly to Malta, explore Valletta, and also Gozo. The Blue Lagoon, spectacular view, so much history there. Don't even get me started. I think I might have done an episode on that as well. I'll link it if you're interested in that area. Then my dream cruise will continue with few days at sea, because the very next location where I would like us to end up is Santorini. So we're going to be relocating from the West Mediterranean to the East Mediterranean. And then very often here on board, they have these destination packages where, if you don't particularly enjoy sea days, which I don't know why wouldn't you, they're so relaxing and lovely, but if you're more adventurous and you need your adrenaline rush at any given time, all the time, for locations that are not really particularly easily accessible from any point in the Mediterranean, that pretty much you have to fly, I would say definitely put on your list to fly to Malaga and definitely explore Alhambra. This is a spectacular place with a lot of history. And also, Picasso has a museum and his birthplace house that you can visit in Malaga. So definitely Malaga will be an art package for people that really like history and art. I'll definitely recommend them visiting Malaga. And then another place where we cannot really easily access unless you are on the way to a transatlantic voyage, relocating from Mediterranean, going to the Caribbean. Many cruise ships make a stop in Madeira, or if you're sailing away, you can make a point, but that will take many days to reach Madeira, and that is a lovely place. It has 9 climates, so you can be from the seaside to the mountains and be in completely different setting. But then you can do some glamorous tea time at the Belmont Hotel on the cliffside. I've done this tea time so many times and I never get tired of it, because it's just being in a movie set, just preparing for your transatlantic voyage, just like back in the days people used to. I will do also a stop in Turkey. There are many beautiful ports in Turkey, but perhaps if you go to Istanbul, really deep in the culture of the Grand Bazaar, there's nothing like it. It's so colorful. It's different type of culture. I'm from Bulgaria, and sometimes I miss that. Wheeling and dealing and finding good deals on the bazaar, but then so much history on Bosphorus. And then another place that is not easily accessible, you have to fly there, is Marrakesh. Again, very similar atmosphere like Istanbul, but taking it even further and really dipping into a different culture, the culture of Morocco, that has so much history. But now going back to our sea days at sea, because I would recommend spending some time on the Mediterranean Sea, to put it on your list for everybody, because it's just very relaxing. And the water in the Mediterranean perhaps is not like the water in the Caribbean, but there are plenty of places that is actually very inviting. One very unique spot on the Mediterranean is Scorpios Island in Greece. This island is the very place that once Jackie O and Onassis called home. As the island is still private, tourists are allowed only to go for a swim at one place by the tavern, but this is the very place that Jackie used to do yoga and swim herself every day. So spending some time at sea is definitely a spiritual experience that I very much enjoy. And those couple days at sea will bring us to my next dream destination. And of course, no surprise, Santorini is on the list when exploring the Mediterranean. After that is Mykonos. And I remember years ago when I called my friend, I was like, okay, I have time only to do one. From Bulgaria, I want to take a little vacation to Santorini or Mykonos. You've been to both of them. Which one should I pick? And she said, no, that's an unfair question. You cannot answer that question. They're both so different. I was like, how could that be? But they are. They're so different. While Mykonos is on the seaside and you get to enjoy the beautiful water and, the lifestyle, glamorous lifestyle at night, some shopping. Buddha Bar is one of my favorite places to visit, but also just get lost in a little unique mums and pops restaurants or do some really glamorous shopping, always an option as well. But then you have Santorini that is nestled in the volcanic area up in the rocks. So how can you not want to visit that? I mean, the dome, the blue domes all around, the charming little caves. So much history that, this area was created during a volcano activities so many years ago. Definitely put it on your list. But then I'm going to take you to something that is a little bit not so commercial, not so well known, and that is Kotor in Montenegro. So far we visited quite a few countries, from Spain to Monaco to France to Italy to Portugal to Turkey to Morocco to Greece, Montenegro. So Montenegro is the only area in Europe that can provide you these fjord-like sceneries. It really is spectacular. Sailing into Kotor will be one of the most magnificent experience you can have on the Mediterranean. So definitely put it on your list. First of all, you get to check another country from your bucket list, from your travel destinations. And second, you're gonna be just simply mesmerized. This is probably one of the most memorable days that I ever spent on the Mediterranean. And the next location that I would totally recommend you visiting, and that is Croatia, another country on the Mediterranean, and Dubrovnik, and also the countryside Dubrovnik. Dubrovnik is spectacular. It's a medieval town with so much history, with the white stones, with the walls. It has a viewpoint with a cable car that you can reach. You can get lost in the little streets. You get to enjoy the cuisine. But going on the countryside is completely different deal. It's like going in Bulgaria. You get to be in families. There are small little dessert wineries in a very family friendly settings. Literally, you will be part of a family for a day, and they'll be feeding you and greeting you and helping you deep into the Croatian culture that is very welcoming. Very much reminds me about Bulgaria. So I definitely recommend visiting Dubrovnik, but also combining it with a day visit to the countryside. And then my grand finale of my dream cruise, my dream sailing, my dream vacation on the Mediterranean will be finishing in spectacular Venice. Nothing tops Venice. There's just nothing like it. The way it's built, the way it's preserved, the way the culture is, the way it's keep standing strong and fighting to survive. I'll definitely put it on the list to visit and spend some time there, because the history there, the museums, but also La Dolce Vita land. This is no coincidence why the Venice Film Festival takes place every year there, because it's just spectacular. Riding those gondolas, arriving on a water taxi to your hotel. La Dolce Vita land at its best. So nothing tops Venice. Just the way Monte Carlo, it's a beautiful place to arrive. Glamorous with helicopter rides, and it's a little bit of a Disneyland for adults. Venice is a true scene out of a movie. So thank you so much for watching this episode. Very much requested question from all around, from years of sailing. People always ask me, what is my favorite destination? And I always found it so difficult. I was like, this is so unfair. I love so many different parts of the world. But if I have to choose one, I'll choose the Mediterranean. And those, between all of these destinations that I just mentioned, they really are something special. And if you haven't explored this part of the world, after this episode, I truly hope that you would. Thank you so much for watching another episode on I'm Antonia, and I'll see you from somewhere around the world. Bye bye now.